they clear an area of the forest in Oranienburg and start building this new camp. They also build it using slave labor. So they bring prisoners that have already been held in other camps to help build Sachsenhausen. But this is not the first concentration camp.
Concentration camp.
Stop. Protection detail. The SS was originally created way back in 1923 as the bodyguards of Hitler. And when the SS was first created, it consisted of 8 men. The first requirements of the SS were also quite stringent. You had to be over 5'11". I've already forgotten what this is in meters. Hold on. I think 1.8. We're supposed to be over. You also had to have perfect teeth, no cavities. You were supposed to have perfect eyesight, no glasses. That does not last very long. In fact, is the Memorial Woods. Whenever we have commemoration ceremonies for groups of prisoners, like nationalities or categories, this is usually where they hold kind of a bigger ceremony. It's also right next to what used to be the commandant's cottage, so the head of the camp. And there were actually 7 different commandants or heads of the camp over the 9 years of the Nazi concentration camp. Through there and often being killed very quickly. Rather than put their numbers into their uniforms, because they would reuse those uniforms, they would tattoo their numbers on their arms. So anyone that went through Auschwitz often ends up with the tattooed number. But again, not everyone has them, because that is only done at certain camps. So he had been elected as a member of the Communist Party to the parliament in the 1920s, but as a communist, he was arrested in 1933. He was moved to several different camps, and then he was brought here to help build Sachsenhausen in 1930. Well, there's a path here, that's for us, for the Memorial Museum, and then inside of that, there's a little path here that has broken rocks, and that leads into a little section with some grass. Then there's a little section of sand, then gravel. Can you guys kind of see that? So this was something called the boot testing or shoe testing track. And this takes us actually back to World War I. World War I, Germany has a lot of the way of coal and steel, but they're running out of things like leather and rubber. And so boots were very difficult to come by. Soldiers were often going into the trenches without boots. And so they did not want this to happen again. So Hitler basically tells several companies to start creating boots with different kinds of material. And then they need to see if these boots will hold up on different kinds of ground. So they give them to prisoners. The boot testing work detail was usually about 150 prisoners. They'd be given these boots with different materials, not often the right size, and then they were given something heavy to carry that is supposed to simulate like a sword. The building would have been a lot bigger, a big T-shaped building, so when we get to the other side, you'll see that the foundations of the rest of it are still there. And this would have held cells, so this basically would have been a cell block or a prison within the concentration camp. barracks would have had bathrooms, some would have had trenches or latrines, but this one did have basically toilets in one room. Again, there's no privacy in this space. When you go to the right, you'll also see kind of what the barracks would look like on the inside. They often would have had kind of a meeting room with benches and lockers, but most of this is also for propaganda and just for show. The lockers weren't often used because most prisoners didn't have personal belongings, and if they did, they didn't have locks. So they wouldn't put it in a locker. If they had personal belongings, they would usually try to find a piece of string and tie it around their necks so that no other prisoner could steal it as well. You'll also see the beds. Now the beds are absolutely original. These are some of the original beds from Sachsenhausen. They are built as bunk bed style. There's also a bed right outside of the others, and that was for the combo. He gets his own bed with a saddle, straw, and mattress. These beds were supposed to hold one person each, but that would depend on who you were, when you were here, and why you were here. And again, the numbers at Sachsenhausen changed massively over time. When Sachsenhausen was first built, it was designed to hold between 3,000 and 6,000 prisoners. By 1936, the end of the year, it holds 6,000. By 1938, 2 years later, it holds 15,000, which is twice what it was designed for. That's when they start building this section, which is known as the small camp, and would eventually be known mostly as the Jewish camp, because mostly this was Jewish prisoners held slightly separate than everyone else. By 1945, if we are including all of the satellite camps, we're talking about 70,000 prisoners. So again, these numbers will change, which means the quality of life and the resources available will also change.
Okay, now we're walking to the kitchen and laundry area.
So if you do need a restroom, it's on this side of the building, just downstairs. But I want to show you a few things inside, and then you'll have some time. Sometimes it's the prisoners that are forced to do these units. And this is also about trying to create a lack of solidarity amongst the prisoners. If you don't know that someone might be selected to then lead you, you don't know who to trust. Acquittal to life in prison. After this point, there are continuing trials here and there, especially in the Soviet Union, which were often show trials, but in Germany, separated by a wall and a fence, and this would have been an industrial yard going all the way back to 1936. It was then used to build an execution trench around 1938 to 1939. Now again, most people in the concentration camp died from the normal treatment of the concentration camp. It was horrific treatment, malnutrition, overwork, exposure to the elements, daily violence. But there are also sentenced executions. Most of these would be sentenced by courts in Germany, but the SS guards also took it upon themselves to commit extrajudicial. Bodies were kept, it's also where they kept guns and munitions. Then prisoners would have been lined up right under here. The entire space is covered in wood, and that's to catch any ricochet bullets. So it's actually to protect the guards that are doing the shooting. They also, though, experiment with different forms of mass killing. So they did start to find that the guards who were having to do this every single day this was a larger version of healthcare a little bit later, the amount of deaths. The net shock this was the gas chamber. It was designed to look like a shower. So again, prisoners are brought in being told that they're going to receive a shower. There are shower heads along the walls, but they're not connected to anything. There's a drain at the bottom that doesn't go anywhere. The prisoners are told to leave their clothing or any of their belongings in this room. Then they go up the stairs. They're shoveled into the room. They try to get as many people